Hello everyone, you join me on a nice summer day here in London at the Prince Albert, not the thing you put in your penis. It's a pub and it's one of my locals, and I thought, I've been doing my debrief reviews on Instagram. I thought I would do a little bit more of an in-depth video how myself and the team achieved our first win. Grab a pint and we shall begin. So this is the whole of qualifying. I'm going to go through quickly some of the highlights. So yeah, one of the big anomalies was Roland's, I wouldn't say lack of performance, that's harsh, but I mean he didn't get through to the duels. So it was really handy to be in Group B qualifying on Saturday, because the track was slightly still damp, so it was drying out for us. There you go, Roland out. He had a moment where he clipped the wall. That's really difficult, that section. If you don't get right up to the apex walls, basically you run slightly wide, you put half a wheel on the dust, and then you have a moment, and he just clipped the wall, as you saw. Yeah, so I did my best lap on the last lap, but it actually, the theoretical lap could have been probably about 2.5 tenths faster. So on my last lap, I went in a bit hard into the last corner, and there was a damp patch like under braking, and the car didn't stop, and then I put a wheel on the dust and I lost about 2.5 tenths or 2 tenths to my sector on my previous push lap. Honestly, if I put those sectors together, I would have had the pace for the quickest time in groups. Got a 15 thousandths I was through. Close. Me and Barnard, so, oh, it's so close. 21 thousandths behind Barnard is at this point. It's a good lap time, 1:06.9. It was about 2 tenths quicker than anyone else at that point. Wow. So yeah, he beat me by 5 thousandths. Both good laps from both of us, you know, step ahead of everyone else. See, Barnard went on to get into the final. My quarter-final dual time was faster than any other quarter-finalists who got knocked out, so that means I start P5. So if I got the slowest dual time, I would have been P8, and the fastest, your P5. So P5 is a very good place to start for the race. Because the track was so dirty offline, my whole ethos going into the race and attitude was like, sort of consolidate, basically get a P4 or a P5, get some more points for the team, for myself. I was predicting there would be other incidences because the track was so difficult and so dirty offline, and as we will come to see, that's basically what happened. So here we go then. I haven't watched this back yet, actually. I've been busy this week doing things. It is hot and humid. It's fucking horrible. Unbearable. Like, literally getting changed, no AC in the garage. Like, everyone thinks, oh, you know, you're a world championship Formula E driver, you know, it's all going to be glamorous. No, literally in the back of the garage, in a closet, effectively. Hottest place on the planet at that point. Trying to put Nomex thermals on, and it's all just sticking to you. It's fucking vile. There he is, the boy, P5. Beautiful. So here we go. We actually, according to Martin, I haven't checked this, but we had the fastest launch of anyone. So, however the guys calibrated the systems in conjunction with Porsche, had a really, really good launch. That was useful because this enabled me here to get basically half a car ahead of Cassidy and sort of hold it all the way around the outside, as you'll see, and get up to P4. But I mean, look how dusty it is on the straight there. Like, there's a great clip, I don't know if some of you have seen it, from Friends, who's starting last, and it's worse than being in the rain. Like, he's driving along and he's just like lifting and braking because he just can't see. So I'm right on the outside here. I was a bit worried going into turn 2 here because the racing line's obviously on the inside of this curb here, and Cassidy's there. So I thought I could have had a moment here, but I just managed to squeeze him enough where I had just enough grip to hold it around the outside for turn 2 and 3 to have the inside for turn 4. So this was very important for the race, actually, because the higher up you are, you know, inside the top 5, the more efficient you can be, the less you've got a concertina effect. It's just nicer for the race. So yeah, Vern was the first one to take attack mode. Most people delayed attack mode in this race because they wanted to see how powerful it was, because no one had a clue with all the dust offline whether you'd be able to overtake two people a lap, 3 people a lap, or net lose. It's almost like when people wait to see people in F1 switch to tyres, see how the hard tyre does on the first stint or whatever. So it's kind of like that. So hang on, so I took attack mode here and I actually lost the place here. I only managed to get Da Costa back. We took attack mode late, 1 lap later than the 2 people in front. So I was basically net 5th at this point, arguably. This is the battle between De Vries and Dennis first lap. I mean, Dennis's the defensive move was quite late. It was almost like me and Barnard in Shanghai, right on the edge. But De Vries knows he's got another lap to go at him because Dennis has still got both of his attacks. I mean, at this point in the race, I mean, Dennis has won. Like, I even said that on the radio at one point. And then, yeah, obviously, De Vries has massively misjudged the overtaking speed and the closing speed here. I mean, Dennis comes over a fraction, but I mean, it's entirely De Vries' fault, that one. I mean, I think De Vries has been due a 10-second penalty, to be honest, so I think that one was so blatant he couldn't get away with that one. I was happy with where I was. I got back past Acosta, P4. Everyone in front of me, including me, had 4 minutes of attack remaining, and Dennis had 6. And this is at the point where I said Dennis has won this race. You know, he was in a very, very good position. So this is when Hughes' car stopped, I think. So I was very worried at this point because I still had well over a minute and a half of my attack mode remaining. As soon as you go into full course yellow or safety car, you basically lose your attack mode and any opportunity to overtake anyone. De Vries gets his penalty shortly, and I'm in a very good place now. You know, at this point, I'm on the podium. So at this point, De Vries has got, I think he's got a brake by wire issue. It said stop on the dash, and you know, now I'm leading, and I think, you know, Mortara had one more go at me on the next straight, and to be honest, if I didn't have this full course yellow here, I probably would have finished second in that race. So there was definitely an element of luck. But, you know, myself and the team put the car in the right place throughout the race to be able to capitalise on a win. So, you know, that happens a lot in Formula E. There's a lot of variables you can't control, and I've had a lot of bad luck this year. Red flag in Miami when I had 5% more energy than anyone. The pit boost thing where I had to reset the battery in Saudi. So I've had some bad luck. So I was due some good luck. So yeah, now this was. They cut to the final lap here, but there was about 6 laps where Mortara, his car was faster than me at the end of the race. If it were on a track where it was easier to overtake, I would have had a much harder time defending from Mortara. Like, they did a great job with setting that car up in this race. You know, the Mahindras were really fast. There was probably the most pressure I felt in my career for quite many years, because if I lock up slightly or I have one slight moment and put a wheel on the dust, I'm losing that race. So my heart was in my mouth for these last 6 laps, and I had to be at sort of 98%, but slightly under the limit, to just do enough to keep him behind, basically. So, and there we go. Yeah, pretty special. Our traction was so bad out the last corner, but there we go. First win in Formula E. I mean, as you can tell, I mean, I said a little bit in the debriefs and stuff, I was quite subdued on the podium, and after I jumped out the car, like, there was a real feeling, like, inner feeling of sort of fuck you to all the haters and the doubters. Beyond that, it was just incredibly proud of where me and the team have got this car to this year, along with Porsche and Cupra. You know, the whole thing has been a pretty incredible effort from everyone. Was very, very happy to be the person to do that for the team, though. They've had equally as many tough years as I have, obviously, in the last 3. So to be able to deliver that for them was a very, very special feeling. And to be honest, my own personal gratification was quite far down the list of emotions, but it sunk in about a day later when I got home, and I was just like, you know, I won that race, and that's a pretty special moment. So yeah. There we go. Nice emotions from Alex. He stuck by me, as I said on my Instagram post, through a lot. There was people in the team that wanted to get rid of me after a year, half a year even, you know, throughout those tough years, and he stuck his neck on the line to keep me. So yeah, very special. Cool, and then another 25 points, and then I look at the championship table, and then I'm like, Christ, I wish I scored a few more points at the beginning of the year. You know, we didn't quite hit the ground running. I mean, we had 5 weeks of turnaround before the beginning of the season from when the deal was done. 5 weeks before the season, 5 weeks to learn the car, do a shakedown, try and get everything in line, and we just didn't hit the ground running. And like, combined with like the bad luck in Miami and Saudi, like, dropped a few points. Then also Monaco should have had more points than that weekend. I mean, conservatively, if you look at all that, you know, a bit more luck, hit the ground running, more points from Monaco, I probably would have about 30 points more, I would say, on conservatively, and then I'm second in the championship. So that's a bit frustrating, but you know, need to round off the year well. We've got 2 street circuits to round the year off. and I think we'll be strong at both of those. So there we go, there is my sum up of my first race win in Formula E. I did this video as a bit of a test, just to see if people like this kind of content, like my race reviews. Happy to do more of these in the future, so letting me know what you think of this kind of format. And also, if you could subscribe, I am trying to build something on YouTube. It's going to have a variety of content, more vlogs coming soon. I'll tease something on my Instagram about what that's going to be in soon. As I've said many times, I appreciate everyone's support who have stuck by me, and fuck the haters.